This is one horror movie that has been one of my most anticipated of 2024, mainly because of the genius marketing campaign online where we got short and simple video clips from Neon on different social media sites where they show some very horrific imagery while you hear different dialogue and sounds at the same time. These have been some of the most unsettling short clips I've seen in a promotion campaign for a horror film. Also, hearing that Nicolas Cage is involved lifted the bar higher up for me. He has been in horror movies before, like Mandy and Color Out of Space, and both of those performances have been great from him when he has tried his hand at horror. Oz Perkins, the director of this movie, is the son of the legendary horror actor Anthony Perkins that played Norman Bates in the original Psycho from 1960. He has done some horror movies before too, like a reimagining of the Hansel and Gretel tale, and also he has done The Black Coat's Daughter, which are both very stylish takes in horror. He has his own voice and style when it comes to directing. So all of that made me very excited for this movie. So did it live up to the hype? Well, let's get into the story of the movie. There will be spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, go see it and then come back to this video later on. Longlegs is a 2024 American horror thriller film, written and directed by Osgood Perkins. It stars Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, who also produced the film through his Saturn Films production company. The cast also features Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt, Michelle Choi Lee, and Dakota Dolby in supporting roles. The film follows an FBI agent tasked with tracking down an occultist serial killer, whom she realizes she has a personal connection to. In 1970s Oregon, a little girl with a Polaroid camera follows a mysterious voice behind her house, where she is approached by an erratic man with a pale white face, who mentions that it is almost her birthday. In the 1990s, newly recruited FBI agent Lee Harker displays inexplicable intuition during a case, though her assigned partner loses his life in the process. Through testing, she is theorized to have possible clairvoyance. As a result, she is assigned to a decades-spanning case of a series of brutal murder-suicides involving families throughout the state of Oregon. In each incident, the father murdered his wife and children before taking his own life, and left at each crime scene is a letter with cryptic satanic coding that is signed Longlegs.
911, what's your emergency?
It's my daughter. I gotta be quiet.
The handwriting belongs to none of the victims, despite no forensic evidence of any home invasion or outside parties present. Lee swiftly connects similarities between the families. Each had at least one 9-year-old daughter, born on the 14th of the month, and the murders all occurred within 6 days before or after the birthday itself. When written out on a linear calendar, the dates of the murders form an occult symbol of an inverted triangle, with one date missing to complete the shape. After witnessing a strange figure enter her house, Lee finds a birthday card addressed to her, allowing her to crack Longlegs' cipher. Following a clue, Lee and her supervisor, Carter, unearth a doll buried beneath one of the former crime scenes, and inside its head find a strange metal orb. Lee sees violent psychic flashes when they interact with it, and the examiner assisting them admits that he thought he heard his ex-wife's name while near the doll. Despite Carter's skepticism, Lee theorizes that each family received a similar doll from Longlegs, and he has been infusing the orbs within each doll with some sort of evil energy that can possess and influence those near it. Lee and Carter visit the institutionalized sole survivor of Longlegs' killings and discover Longlegs has already visited her, sending in with Lee's name. Carter grows concerned that Lee is connected to Longlegs. While visiting her mother, Ruth, Lee finds a chest in her childhood bedroom containing a stack of Polaroids. Among them is a picture of the pale-faced man, revealing her to be the girl from the introduction. Knowing now that she was visited by Longlegs, she submits the picture, allowing the FBI to track him down and arrest him. Longlegs expresses his desire to see her, and in the interrogation room tells her that she serves the man downstairs. He tells Lee to question her mother's involvement in his crimes, muttering "Hail Satan" to himself. Longlegs begins violently slamming his face onto the table, killing himself in front of Lee. Carter angrily confronts Lee about her involvement. Lee drives to her house with fellow FBI agent Browning to confront her mother about her connection to Longlegs. Ruth murders Browning with a shotgun. When Lee tells Ruth that Longlegs is dead, she shoots the head of a doll resembling a young Lee, causing Lee to lose consciousness. It is revealed that Ruth has been Longlegs' accomplice ever since Lee's encounter with him. Longlegs returned in the night to attack and subdue Ruth, forcing her to make a choice: let her daughter be murdered as a part of the ritual, or to do his bidding to spare her. She complied, leaving Lee to be the missing birthday on the triangle. Longlegs has lived in the Harker house basement ever since, creating dolls he would infuse with his satanic magic. Ruth would pose as a nun delivering a gift from the church to bring the dolls to the families. Lee's doll has been guiding her with the satanic influence of Longlegs since childhood. Awakening in the basement, Lee answers the phone to hear "You're late for Ruby's party." Realizing Agent Carter's daughter, Ruby, has her 9th birthday that day, and that the Carters' deaths would complete Longlegs' triangle, Lee races to intervene, only to discover that Ruth had already delivered the doll to the family, who are all already possessed. After Carter murders his wife, Lee shoots and kills Carter to protect Ruby. Ruth brandishes a dagger and praises Satan, and Lee is forced to shoot and kill her mother as well. Afterwards, Lee attempts to shoot the doll, but her gun jams multiple times, as the voice of Longlegs begins singing "Happy Birthday." Lee tells Ruby it's time to go. The film cuts back to the interrogation room, where Longlegs looks directly at the camera and repeats "Hail Satan" before blowing a kiss. So that was the story of Longlegs, and I thought that this movie overall is a great movie. The visual style is perfect for this story. The cinematography is expertly executed to give this movie tension throughout the movie. Even in scenes where nothing really horrific happens, you expect something to happen because of how the shots are framed and how the camera moves around the environment. Every scene feels like you are seeing something horrific and that anything could happen at any point in the movie. The opening scene is also very unsettling and very well shot, and it is where we get our first glance of Nicolas Cage as the title character Longlegs, and it is a good introduction to him for what happens in the rest of the movie. Cage has maybe 15 to 20 minutes of screen time, but he uses it very well with his performance and really shows how skilled of an actor he really is. Micah Monroe has a great performance here too, and she yet again shows she is very good in the horror genre. It's not her first time in horror either, because she had her breakthrough in the genre with It Follows, where she also had a very good performance. Every scene builds up on the overall story in an effective way. It is a well-written script overall. The issues I mainly have with this movie is that the main character is a bit underwritten. Micah Monroe has a good performance, but the character feels a bit too empty and you don't get any sort of connection to her. Also, I would like the elements of a thriller and supernatural horror to have worked much better than it does. Now it is a mix, but I don't think at all that all parts work perfectly, but nonetheless this is a great horror movie. Yes, the hype for it was a bit too big, but it doesn't take away from the quality of the craft presented here. Neon as a production company has taken a risk with a bit more experimental film, like they mostly do, and for the most part they succeed with Longlegs 2. I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10. I have not uploaded a video for a while on here, with summer and all, but I will get back to scheduled posting in fall again. I just felt like I had to do a review of Longlegs, and I will be doing a non-horror review of Deadpool vs Wolverine when I see that before summer is over. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe. This has been Boogeyman Cinema. Thank you for watching.